Hi there, good morning and welcome once again. Well, we had the privilege, my husband and I, Dion, we had the privilege of attending our son Joshua's passing out parade a few years back. Okay, what an honor for us as parents. We were absolutely extremely proud of Joshua on that day. He had completed his basic training and he had passed out as a British soldier. Well, we know the Bible speaks to us as well about soldiers in 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 4. And this is what it says: no soldier when in service gets entangled in the enterprises of civilian life. His aim is to satisfy and please the one who enlisted him. Well, I remember our son Joshua telling us throughout this basic training, the aim of each recruit was to obey and to please their corporal at all times. If they stepped out of line or they didn't do what they were told or what was expected of them, they had to face the consequences of that. Throughout their training, they were being trained to a level of excellence, okay? Excellence in every area. So that meant they were put under extreme cases to get them to a certain level. They were not allowed to leave the army base when they wanted and do what they wanted in these 14 weeks of basic training, and that they were structured all the time. While our aim, your aim, and my aim today should be to satisfy and to please our leader, Jesus Christ. Just as a soldier, they need to be prepared and trained for battle. You and I, we need to be prepared. We need to be trained up in the ways of God and not get ourselves entangled in the things of this world. We know that Ephesians chapter 6 verse 13 speaks about God's armor. It says so that we must put on the full armor of God. Why? That we can resist the enemy, and after the battle, we will be standing firm. Standing firm. Well, Josh and his troop were taken out many a time for training exercises in those beginning days. And I remember him telling us a story of the one time they were out on exercise, a training exercise, and the one night their troop were under attack. They were all drilled beforehand in what to do, but the one recruit came out that night with just his boots and his shorts on. You can imagine that recruit got into a bit of trouble from his superiors that day. These recruits were fully trained and drilled so that when they go into battle, they would be prepared. Likewise, you and I, we need to put on the full armor of God so that we can resist the enemy and be standing at the end of the storm, standing strong. Okay? In these 14 weeks, after 7 weeks, they were allowed to come home for a few days. They basically had to cut ties with everything that is not army structured in that first 7 weeks. Our scripture in 2 Timothy speaks about not being entangled in civilian life. What are you allowing yourself to be entangled in? Okay, Josh said that recruits that were not up to standard, okay, they were sent back home or even backtracked. Okay, I remember him telling us that there were over 40 recruits on his intake and just over 20 at the end of phase 1 that were left. There was no messing around, and they went out of their way. They went out of their way, these recruits, to please their leaders. Well, we can thank God today and thank goodness for our sakes that our leader, Jesus Christ, is full of grace, and he knows we're going to mess up, but he's full of grace. He forgives us, and we serve a gracious God. So even though we know this, that he's gracious and he's loving, you and I today, we need to start maturing in him. We need to desire to change and make headway in our walk with God. Choose today to satisfy and to please the one who enlisted you. The one is Jesus Christ. Let's be a soldier today, worthy of his calling today. Be blessed today and have a super day. God bless. Bye-bye.